Hey, what's up guys, Jacob here, and in this video I want to give you guys a cinematography breakdown of probably one of my top 5 favorite music videos I've ever directed and DP'd in my entire career so far. This music video is called Saire Monster.
I'm coming to get you, you can run, but you can't hide.
Now in this video, we're going to be looking at the director's cut version, which is a slightly altered version of the original that came out back in 2020. So just for some context, this visual is basically a horror slash thriller video. We took very heavy inspiration from old slasher films and basically like an 80s aesthetic. The entire video has like this neon type of glow, a bunch of different wild colors, and a crazy storyline. So for some more context, this video was shot over the span of 2 different days on a red Scarlet W 5K cinema camera. There's just a lot going on in this visual. So in order to get everything done, we had to do 2 days full-time back to back. All right, so with that being said, now let's open up to the very first scene. So this first scene is basically like an assault slash attack on the artist Saire. This is actually a flashback to what's happened in the past. Now this visual, as it goes on, we flash in and out of what happened in the past and to the present. This is basically a classic revenge story. We drove about like 20-30 minutes away into like a forested area. So for this shot exactly, we used a 50 to 100mm Sigma art lens on the red Scarlet W. There's a long stretch of road that kind of cut between where we parked the car and where we were standing, of course. We used Astera LED tube lights, the AX1 pixel tubes, placed a couple in the car, and also added smoke machines. Now for this visual, we did have a generator with us, so we were able to power our lights and get like running electricity outside so we could use a smoke machine. And we basically put the smoke inside the car. So this is not necessarily the safest thing. We almost like suffocated them. It's probably not good to sit in that much smoke. And honestly, this kind of shot really reminds me of like Stranger Things. Just the red, I guess, and like the glow and like the 80s aesthetic that we're already going for. But basically this scene is just our monster, the male actor, attacking Saire in multiple positions and trying to take advantage of her and also killing her. Pretty much for this scene, we just did all handheld. I ran around the car in different various angles to get hand on the window, front seat, back seat, just a bunch of low shutter speed shots as well. So for this next scene, which we shot all in a studio, which was called Make the Film Studio in downtown Toronto. This was actually a very tough thing to do. We wanted the performance shot. We had this idea to have Saire, the artist, come out of a smoky wall. Now initially we tried to do this in a forest, but we knew it wouldn't work based on wind and smoke just going everywhere. So we had to think of a way to box in a lot of smoke at once and have her walk towards the camera for one of the opening performance scenes that we see in the music video here on screen right now. Saire is boxed in with a bunch of black flags that are put up on C-stands. It was pretty janky. We just clamped them all together, super clamped. So we had Manny, our PA, on set, and Grip on the top of the black flags, just blowing a smoke machine downwards. And we also had Aaron, our other production assistant, on set, blowing smoke towards the artist as well. Having 2 different smoke machines was able to create this like very thick smoke. For lighting wise, we did an overhead light. It was a 300D with a small softbox that was giving her hair light and basically the main key. On top of that, we had a reflector board that was placed below her on the apple boxes to give her just a little bit more fill under her chin. Also in the studio shot, we had her in a red chair. Now red in this music video, how I kind of played along with it was we used red as a danger sign or power, control. The thing with red is like usually in real life, red is kind of like a stop sign. It's a no-go, it's danger, it's everything bad. So in this video, even in the studio section here, which is sitting on the chair, we used Astera's off to the side of her face to flash to the BPM of the song. And this is kind of pulsing and giving us time to kind of take in that like something is about to happen. It's building up to something. Just to give more context, this entire studio is a white wall. It's a psych wall. So the way we were able to get everything black around her and just have her in the light is we blasted the 300D as bright as we could get it, just so we could have our exposure in our camera only exposed for Saire, the artist, and everything just becomes black around her, minus the smoke. It's a little bit gray, but it becomes darker because we're exposing for the subject and not the background. Okay, so pretty much this third scene, which I think is my second favorite scene in the entire music video. We shot this bar called Founder in Toronto. They were very generous and let us shoot the entire night in that bar. We pretty much used the bar how it was, plus added our own lights on top. They had this really cool neon sign in the back that says "Finish what you start," which really goes along with the story of this music video. But on top of that, they had a bunch of practical lights that were overhead that could be dimmed. So what we did was we kept those lights on for the most part, dimmed them down slightly, and added our own lights around the bar. I think we had about 12 AX1 pixel tubes just scattered around. We had like 2 or 3 underneath the bar counter. We had a bunch lined up on the back end of the bar wall as well for all the bottles. Just again, more light just to kind of make this whole bar look way more neon than it actually is. I'll show you guys before and then after so you guys can see the crazy difference that we made with the lighting. So one of my favorite shots from this bar scene though is when we're exposing that Saire is actually there waiting for her to spike his drink. She has like a little performance clip for like one line basically where she's behind sitting in the bar, turns around. I think for this scene, this shot, we did like maybe 4 or 5 takes where we timed it very well. She turned around, looked directly at the camera. It's almost like she knows what's happening, kind of breaking the fourth wall at this point. She knows that he just got tricked into being drugged. They exit the bar and, you know, of course, she's gonna walk to his car and he starts stumbling. The stairs, we actually used just red Asteras. There's like handles on both sides of the stairs, and we just put red Asteras taped along each side so they could walk down and create this look that they're in, like, again, a bar. The staircase is not in the bar whatsoever. It made the bar look like it's upstairs, but realistically it's all ground level. One problem though is that we shot this on the first day, which is during the daytime. So we wanted darkness in there to create that bar mood to match the bar for the next day. We'd have tape garbage bags to the wall to cover the hole that's in the door so we can get that darkness in the shot. All right, so pretty much like I'm not gonna go over every single shot because that would be crazy, which leads me to the very last scene, which is my third favorite scene of the music video where they get the final revenge. So basically the scene overall is them taking him out of the trunk that he's tied up. They drag him to the front of the car and they grab a gasoline can, light up the lighter, and basically pour him full of gasoline. They're gonna burn him alive. This entire scene was just lit using Astera pixel tubes again. We had a couple people Hollywood the lights over top of their head. Just use that as the front key. When he was dragged out of the car, we just did handheld just to kind of keep that rocky motion. Fun fact though about what the gasoline can is actually just iced tea and water mixed together. So he was pretty sticky after this, but it looked really realistic on set, and on camera it looks pretty believable as well. We wanted to really sell the whole lighting on fire thing. So with the Astera pixel tubes, there are presets that are made on the light in the app that you can choose from. So we use the standard fire effect, and basically just has that ambience of being a fire. As soon as she lights her cigarette and flicks it at him because he's drenched in gasoline, we flick the lights to change to red and like that fire effect. So it really sells the whole he's burning alive thing. Now the difference between my director's cut version and the original version is that in my version, you can hear him screaming. I took a sound effect of a male screaming and mixed it with another scream and created like his very gruesome death sound. Now in the original release, this doesn't happen. There is no sound effect. It kind of just ends with like the eyes and it goes to black screen basically. So I wanted to extend it a little bit more in mine and have them walk away like they're bosses, like they just got the job done, no remorse, and they did what they had to do. That was pretty much the music video, guys. I left with a couple things. I'm not gonna go over every single detail, but these are pretty much the main points that I want to get across for the cinematography breakdown. So if you guys enjoyed this type of style video, I would really appreciate dropping a like, comment down below what you think, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Again, if you guys like this type of stuff, I'll be doing more of it. So that's pretty much it for me, guys. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.